A lot of people want me dead. They call it justice. I'm the only one who knows the truth. All I have left is the wind by my side.
Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'll show you how to play Yasuo. To start off with, we will be using Q level 1 here guys, because that is our main damaging and farming ability. We are starting with Doran's shield because we are playing against the Victor and he's going to poke us a lot, so our goal is to stay passive early game. Try to get the minions we can, but it's not really important, just make sure you get the XP. You just stay back and farm with your Q. It has a pretty decent range, so you don't need to walk within melee range in order to farm. Not want to trade with the Victor level 1 guys because he has insane amount of damage and he also has a shield and he has the range advantage. Just farm with Q and remember that it can stack and will give you a tornado. Once you have enough stacks guys, and you can use that to last hit the minions that are in the backline that you would normally not be able to access because you would get zoned, so you can also use a tornado to farm with. Your E is your dash and it has a fixed distance, so it means that if you're super close to the target and you press E, then you will travel further. So you can use that to jump over walls with. For example, you can go super close to the grump, press E on it, and then you dash past the wall. So pretty useful for mobility, and it does have a cooldown on each target though, so you can't spam it. And your W is the wind wall that everybody knows and hates Yasuo for. It blocks all projectiles. It does have a pretty large cooldown as well, so you want to be careful when using that, but the thing is, when you get level 3, level 4, that's why you begin really trading against range matchups, because you have your wind wall, so be able to pressure them. Right, nice first spot. We need to get out of here. I need to walk all the way around because he's gonna teleport. I can't really stay for this wave either, so I want to recall. Okay, I'm not making it out here. Lee Sin has double buffs and I don't have any summoner, so that's a bit doomed. Just walk all the way down here, so I made sure that Victor did not get assist, because then he would get his 4 stacks, and we don't really want that because then he just gets the FK wave clearing ability. But yeah, of course, when you trade for Yasuo, make sure you have your wind wall up. It can also be really good to stack your Q in advance so the tornado is ready, so you get that knock up, which can help keep targets in place while you damage them. Your passive is a shield guys. As you move around, then this bar below your HP is stacking up. Once it's full, then you'll get that temporary shield. That's also really important when you go for trades, that you try to make sure that it's ready before you go in, because it is actually going to block a decent amount of damage. I don't know what Janna is doing. Why would you do that to us? Interesting move. Anyways, we got the first power spike on Yasuo. Always want the berserkers first, and that is because your Q guys the cooldown of it scales with attack speed. So when you get more attack speed, then your Q cooldown will decrease and the cast time will also decrease, so you can use it faster. In the early game it feels a bit awkward to use your Q because it has a pretty low animation, but as you get more attack speed then it becomes smoother. And yeah, of course you get that double crit chance from your passive. It's actually more than double right now because Riot made it so you get 100% crit after you have your first mythic item and second crit item. Then you deal a little bit less crit damage, but that doesn't really matter much because you get such a massive power spike as soon as you have 2 crit items and your boots.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
I like to play really aggressive with Yasuo, but of course that can also mean that you'll end up dying a lot. Oh, that was close. Okay. Barely made it out alive, but we're also picking up kills and we also died twice. Very risky of me to stay here as well. Victor is level 6 and Lee Sin is probably coming around. Yeah, low HP Yasuo. Why I placed that wall right there so I can see him. Maybe if I get level 6 then I can do something. So your ultimate, guys, when you knock up or allies knock up or displace the enemy champion, then you'll be able to use your ultimate to teleport to them, jump in the air and then deal some damage. So it's good for engaging onto the enemy team. Yasuo has great synergy with champions who can knock people up or use any displacement ability. Something like a Malphite or a Zac is very, very good. So his ultimate does make him a little bit team reliant. Oh wow, that was just a millisecond before my Q came up. So we traded 1-for-1 again, so not too bad. Only thing is I'm losing a lot of CS. But yeah, his ultimate makes him a bit team reliant, guys, because normally in team fights you can't really engage unless you have somebody who can frontline for you, and you definitely want someone like a Zac or a Malphite because of the synergy with your ultimate.
Follow the wind, but watch your back.
Right, his flash is down, it's perfect. Normally, thing is, you'll get camped a lot. As you can see here, I'm also getting camped a lot because they are premates, so when you play Yasuo, people will camp you. So how you want to play it is that typically you just let the ranged mid laner push the lane towards you. You try to freeze in front of your tower. Try to slowly stack that Q up so you get the tornado, and then you can engage onto them, because then the lane is extended so you have more room to chase people down. So try to let them push and then try to get a good freeze in the front of the tower. Because if you AFK push on Yasuo, guys, then you will not be able to do anything to ranged champions under their tower. They will just be able to farm for free. Try to get that freeze going on and don't AFK push all the time because you just get camped. It happens to most Yasuo players, they play way too aggressive and then they just end up running it down. Got 2 plates, so that means when we base then we will have enough gold for a Vamp Scepter, and unfortunately we don't have enough gold for the cloak. But we can get a control ward if we want to. Can't really base yet though because Victor has his passive first text core upgrade, so he can AFK push the wave now. So if I mess up my base timer against the Victor, then I will end up losing a lot of CS. Bot lane is doing great, so that's perfect for us. So this lane on Yasuo becomes easier as you get your first base when you're berserkers, because then you're a lot more mobile and you also have a lot more damage, even though you're only building attack speed because your Q cooldown comes up faster, your Q ability comes up faster. Okay, that's a nice W. Game coming in. Wait, what are you doing? I can't really save him. I'm not gonna risk dying there. No point. I have a Janna coming in, so we can force something here. Lee Sin is also up. I flashed him right here because I knew Lee Sin was waiting around, so I did not want to wait for his W shield to protect Victor. Oh, I don't have my ultimate up for that. I think Janna didn't see that. Otherwise, Mordekaiser would have been dead. That was a really nice ultimate up for though. To be dead. Ultimate animation did not go off. It just like a millisecond and Janna would maybe have died because he was going to kick me into her. But now we get our first core item. Steel Bow is all around good and you can use it in every single game you want to. It is the best mythic item on Yasuo and Yone in most of your games, guys, because it gives you everything you need. You get damage, you get crit chance, you get sustain, you get attack speed. And you also get that shield. That shield is really important because Yasuo and Yone are really squishy, so you want to make sure that you don't get one shot whenever you go for a fight.
Justice. That's a pretty.
Get on some Mordekaiser. Thing is, guys, when you use your ultimate, you knock people up right before you use the ultimate. Wait until the last possible second before you use your ultimate so you keep them CC'd for as long as possible. That's one of the key things when playing Yasuo, is that when you hit somebody with that knock up from your Q, wait until the last possible second before you use your ultimate. It really makes a huge difference, especially in team fights. Because it gives your teammates that extra time to catch up to people or damage them. Oh, he does not respect Victor. I think they swapped for some reason. He doesn't want to lane against me. That's a control ward, so I will not be able to chase him. He can just suicide into the tower, so can't really do much there. And the Lee Sin coming in as well, so I just have to get back to lane.
My honor left
Executed.
time ago.
Yeah, Yasuo, pretty good. Most of your lanes are pretty much skill matchups, but there are some really difficult ones that you want to avoid no matter what.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Pantheon is really bad, Renekton is also really bad. Aurelia is also tough early on, but you will outscale all of them. Problem is the laning though, because they are massive lane bullies and you do not want to face Renekton or Pantheon. It's going to be a very, very tough lane for you, so if you're looking for bans, then they are pretty good champions to ban. Out of the ones I mentioned, Renekton and Pantheon are probably the worst ones. Renekton just completely denies the shield as well. He has that shield break on his Empower W, and he's a lane bully. He uses no mana at all, so he can just keep all-inning you whenever you walk up. If you make a single mistake, then you're dead in that lane. So Renekton is a good ban. Pantheon, Aurelia. When the mid game starts, guys, basically when the first tower goes down, that's around when the mid game starts. When that happens, you want to be in the sideline as Yasuo. He's good in 1 versus 1, so you want to abuse that. And also just to make sure that you keep farming, right? Because if you just group mid all the game, then either you or your ADC will be losing out on the farm. So split up the gold, guys. Let someone go to the side lane, which should be you most of the game. Then you let your carries mid.
Just looking for a road home.
Just have to keep pushing here. Okay, and now the bot tower is down. So now it's basically mid game. So when your ADC resets, tell them to go mid, and then you want to go into the side lane. Of course, to get gold for yourself, but also because Yasuo is strong in 1 versus 1. So if you play against something you can't really kill in the mid lane, for example a Vel'Koz or a Xerath or something who just stays at the tower and uses longer range abilities to clear out the waves with, then what you can do is that when you start going to mid, side lane guys, they don't really have anything to protect themselves with, because it is an extended range, so you'll be able to run people down.
Virtue is no more than a luxury.
So you definitely want to take advantage of that, especially if you play against the mage, because they are very weak in the side lane.
Honor, death.
So it gives you more opportunities to look for kills as well. Thinking I could look for an all-in here, but if I did that, then Alistar would just knock me up and then he would knock me into the tower. Okay, weird flash, weird ultimate as well. But that's good for us, so Lee Sin will not be able to go for any plays. I'm just gonna head to the side lane here, no point in me staying mid. And if Victor decides to walk up here, guys, then I can just run him down, dash to the minions and just chase him down without him being able to escape at all, because it is an extended range lane. Now he is at the tower, so I won't really be able to punish him, but we still want to make sure that this wave crashes completely. We do not want to let him freeze at all. Go, and your Q one-shots the backline minion, so that's great. You also have really good wave clear on Yasuo.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
The dragon is spawning. I don't know why Kayn is going topside. That's a pretty weird call to make. I also have to back off here. I can start hitting the tier 2 tower in the bot lane. And she gave away a bounty, a bit greedy. You'll most likely not be able to get this tower completely because they should be rotating towards the bot lane. There's Victor, so I'm just gonna go out of vision. Now, even more importantly, when you are ahead like this, you also want to deny the enemy jungler, so if you see any of his jungle camps, then make sure to take them as well. Because setting the enemy jungler behind is going to give you such a big advantage. Because jungle role is the most impactful role in the game, right? And if you set the enemy jungler behind, then that gives your jungler so much room to work with. They will be able to pressure better. And of course the enemy jungler will fall behind in XP and gold as well. So make sure that you take away their jungle camps whenever you have the opportunity to do so. gonna keep going to the side lane. So we have the big power spike right now. Berserkers into 2 crit items. You always want the Infinity Edge whenever possible because it gives the biggest spike you can possibly get. Now you're just gonna shred absolutely everyone, even tanks, because your ultimate also gives you that armor pin. That's why you don't really need armor pin items on Yasuo. Lord Dominic's is not something that is needed unless you're playing against a super tank composition, because then it also helps with your auto attack when you don't have your ultimate up. Take away the jungle camps, as I said early on. This is going to make it harder for Victor because he doesn't have his blue buff anymore, so he will not be able to spam his C. We just want to stay here and pressure as much as possible, and then now we managed to show in a wave, then we can go into the jungle, look for camps, or to rotate towards our allies to help them out. Just keep repeating this, guys. And MF flashes down, great. I'm being very patient with my ultimate. That's also important as Yasuo. You don't just want to ultimate whenever somebody knocks up. You want to make sure that when you use your ultimate, then you don't get CC to death and then just focus down. Be patient, keep in mind what kind of abilities the enemy champions have up, if there's anything that could screw you over. If they don't, then you can go for that ultimate. Because you also teleport a distance, right? So your teammates also need time to catch up, so it's very important that you are smart about how you use this ultimate. Nice recent kick. Yeah, that was the Yasuo guide, so I hope this was helpful. As always, see you guys in the next video.